Perspective. Perspective, Elizabeth Purtee.
Weeks ago, I was en route to a cruise with my fun-loving, country-bagging husband. And we were going to 3 new countries: Cozumel, Belize, and Honduras. The weather was varied, mostly rainy and very turbulent. I really relied on my I kept calling them bovine, but I think they're called bonine, little capsules to keep myself in good condition. Our first stop was Cozumel, and it was a beautiful sunny day. So we were able to go without the problem of the rain to view Mayan ruins. This is something I had wanted to do for a long time. I received a beautiful gift of a hieroglyphic necklace from my husband that had my name written in the hieroglyphic symbols of the Mayan language. The second day was Belize. Oh, what a thrill. I did something for the first time in my life. I went ziplining, and I also went cave tubing. We decided that we would do the cave tubing first, and if any of you have been through caves like Lehman Caves or Carlsbad Canyon, where you have these huge caves with stalactites and stalagmites. If you've gone in the United States, these places are all strategically lit up. But when we were in Belize, these were pitch black caverns. The only thing that gave us any light was a helmet that we wore on our heads with a strapped-on light that we could turn on and focus, all in the same direction. We also were on ground that had like 10 to 50 feet of water underneath. So we viewed the whole thing by having our swimsuits and sitting in inner tubes and locking inner tube to inner tube with one another as we went through the cave tour. As we were doing this, sometimes we'd come across another tour, and immediately a water war would take place, which was much to my dismay, because when only my butt was in the water, I could handle the coldness of the water, but when it came to the water fighting and I was drenched in water, it wasn't as much fun. We also were able to experience fun things like drinking from crystal clear lakes inside the cave. We always made sure our leader did it first so that we weren't taking some kind of chance of getting some kind of, bad bug. Another thing we did is we came across special mud that we painted ourselves with so that we could look like fierce Mayan people that were about to sacrifice someone in the cave. It was a great time. But the one that I mostly want to share with you is Honduras. What do you think of when you hear Honduras? Do you think of crime and kidnapping and poverty? This was my perspective when we were going there. At the beginning of our tour, we were first greeted by our tour guide, who, along with everyone else, was dressed in bright yellow. Why? Because we were in Trujillo, Honduras, and we were going to be in the Banana Coast. The first place they took us to was the town. The town of Trujillo only has visitors 1 day a week, 1 ship a week, and all of them bring out their wares for us to hopefully purchase and help their economy a little bit. They had wonderful souvenirs. They had wonderful artistic things to share with all of us. They were warm and wonderful. Then, after that, we again boarded our bus, and we went for quite a ride until what appeared to be we were going far, far, far to a beach, and that was the Banana Coast. First thing we were doing was visiting all of these plantations. Now, I have to define for you what a plantation is to them. A size like our room right here was a plantation. So I must tell you, we visited about 15 to 20 plantations. This is our banana plantation. And it was little and insignificant. And then we would go to the pineapple plantation and the citrus plantation where they had oranges, limes, lemons, and grapefruit. We also visited their zoo, which was about as big as this room, another plantation. It was so much fun because they were so filled with pride as they were telling us about this place. Now, I want to share with you that Trujillo and the Banana Coast in this particular area was begun being developed in 2011. So it's percolating with the feeling of basically a third world country that is ready to turn into a big resort within the next 5 to 10 years. So it was really fabulous to be a part of something like this where we could see something and remember when. Then finally it was time to go to the beach. The beach was beautiful. And of course, since this place was only developed in 2011, I must tell you, all of the buildings except for the town itself, which was original, was all brand new fabricated buildings. So they were beautiful. The facilities, bathroom facilities, were beautiful and wonderful and clean. Everything was great. Oh, being the power company, I have to go back and tell you all something else. There were, when we were going through the town, there were high voltage distribution lines on the outside of every building within hand's reach. I mean, how many decades has it been since any of us have seen anything like that? That's what we were seeing when we were in the town. We were treated to a beautiful, very typical meal where they had rice and beans cooked in a coconut sauce. It was so fabulous, along with roasted chicken and many of the other condiments that are typical of the area. They played what to me was your dinka 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 kind of Jamaican music that we were able to enjoy very loudly, that you could hear from any place on the beach. They would dance for us and encourage other people to dance. We had a fabulous time. So your perspective about Honduras? Honk if you like Honduras.